Hello, welcome to Quest for Thunder. I'm Mark. My wife Jean and I are refitting our 1983 Pearson 422, and we're glad you've joined us. If this is your first time visiting Quest for Thunder, please consider subscribing and clicking the notification bell so that you'll receive notification when we upload new content. We're glad you're here. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below. Welcome to Quest for Thunder and enjoy the video. Thank you. Good afternoon, Quest for Thunder. It's Sunday, the 4th of June, and we are back on the boat working on another pop-up project. Let me see if I can't stabilize this camera a little bit. There we go. We as boats are often subject to cramming full of junk and systems and things like that that are thought to be things that are good and that we need, and so we start poking things into spaces to enable us to have them. Sometimes we find ourselves in a situation where we have caused access issues to really vital systems, and suddenly we can't access those systems readily. And if we were to have a situation where we would need to get to something, emergency even, it would be very, very difficult to do it. And we find ourselves here on Thunder in that very situation because of adding things like ACs and water heaters and all of that sort of thing. And so that's what we're doing today. We're evaluating the possibility of removing a water heater. The climate here is such that it's fairly warm, and we wouldn't really need a heater to heat water necessarily. We could always use a sun shower type situation if we wanted to have hot water for showers. When we're not actually actively sailing, we're in a marina. We don't live on the boat, but if we were to, we could just use the marina's showering facilities. We wouldn't need hot water in that particular case. And so we started questioning whether or not we wanted to keep the hot water heater, given the fact that it really takes up a lot of room and it blocks access to engine room space. So we're contemplating removing it. So let me show you what we're dealing with. All right, so here's the water heater. This space that we're looking at right here is basically under the companionway. I have taken the top of it off. The top is right there. It sits right there. And that sits right up here on top. And then the companionway stairs, they sit on that pedestal there, and they go right up to the companionway, which is right there. So this is under the companionway stairs. And so behind this, as you can see, we have a number of systems in here. We've got a bus bar for a negative bus, and a shunt for our battery monitor. We have the battery switch, and then we have some plumbing over here for the water heater. And this is a rattan marine water heater, and it uses both electricity, 110 volt, and engine heat. So it actually takes coolant from the engine, runs it through a heat exchanger, which is here and down here, that when the engine's running, it actually heats the water in here. I'm not really sure exactly what size this water heater is. I'm thinking it's probably 11 gallons. Looks like it might be an 11-gallon tank, but I'm not sure. But anyway, so the deal is, as you can see, I do not have access to the top or back of my engine at all with this here. And much of what I need to access, for just various basic maintenance, is underneath this, and it's truly without access. And I'm going to walk you back to the back of the back of the boat here, to the aft cabin. And back here I have entry. I have a door right here. If I can back up far enough for you to see this door. This door is what opens into the engine room, engine compartment. But you can see it's very narrow in there. These two units above here are AC units. And then down here and back, you can see the back of the hot water heater back there. See that? And so there's another shelf that's been put right there. Well, that is the back of the engine, or the front of the engine, depending upon, oops, sorry. That back there is the back of the engine, or the front of the engine, as whichever, I mean, depending upon how you view it. But I have no access to that. I cannot get to any of that and crawl on top of the engine, but I still can't reach through all those pipes and all that stuff. I can't get in there. The fuel filter is way up there, very difficult to get to change fuel filter, the Raycor. I mean, zincs for the heat exchanger are way up there in the corner, way back down in there in the corner. Very, very difficult to get to. And then the sea strainer is buried back there somewhere. There, I can see the pipe coming up for it right about there, but the sea strainer is, yeah, and the strainer is probably, I don't know, maybe it's a pretty good size strainer. It's probably 7 inches or whatever, 10 inches tall. And from the top of the sea strainer to the bottom of the platform that the water heater is sitting on, right there, it's only about 2 inches or 3 inches. So there, even if I could reach it, I couldn't get the basket out no matter what I tried to do. So in order to work on the engine, especially on this end of the engine, there's just basically really no way to do it. I don't know. I'm at a loss to understand what in the world was being thought of when they were plumbing this and putting this thing in here. I don't know how they expected to get to the sea strainer. I mean, that's important. I mean, you don't want to be sucking up, you don't want to not have a basket and just have that open to raw water. You could suck up any number of things, and then you get it up into your heat exchanger, and then you're toast. So yeah, I don't know what was going on. So I'm thinking that based on this, I think I'm going to have to remove this hot water heater, and then I'm going to have to cut open this shelf that it sits on. Is being used for some other things too, like the shunt and the negative bus is sitting on a piece of starboard that's attached to the edge of that shelf. So I'm not going to be able to remove the whole shelf. Also, my fuel tank selection lever is right here. It's also connected to the shelf. So I'm not going to be able to remove all of it. So, but what I can do is I can cut out a big section of this thing. Once I get the hot water heater out of here, I can cut out a big section so that I can actually reach down in there and actually do some maintenance. It would make things a whole lot easier if I can access all that, and of course get all this plumbing out of the way. So anyway, that's the project. Today we're basically just evaluating whether or not we want to do this, and I think based on what I've already just enumerated, I think it's probably something we're going to have to do. And then we'll just, if we want hot water, which I don't really honestly ever foresee us really needing it, maybe if we were in a northern climate, maybe, but down here I just don't see it. But if we ever did, we could always figure out a different way. There's a locker back aft that I could easily set up a small hot water, like a diesel hot water heater or something back in there if necessary. But anyway, that's what we're up to today. Just evaluating and seeing where we go, what we do. So anyway, it's a quick video today, just to kind of bring you up to speed as to what's going on. Yesterday we were here at the boat doing some work. One of the things that we were doing that prompted all this was I had to change that zinc back there that I was talking about, and I literally had to lay across the engine, which was very uncomfortable, very difficult to reach in there and get that. Of course, when I tried to take the zinc out, you know, it separated from the screw and part of it was still stuck in there, and that posed another issue. And because access, I couldn't just easily get to it to do what, things that I needed to do, like maybe drill it and put a screw in it to jiggle it out of there or whatever. And it took hours to do that. And that's just unacceptable. So I think next time we show you something, we're probably going to show you a space without a water heater in it. So anyway, thanks for joining us. I know this was just a quick video. Nothing actually happening today. You just listen to me babble. But that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. This is boat ownership here, right here. This is boat ownership. Owners do stuff. I mean, you saw those 2 air conditioning systems back there, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, they're in the engine room of all places. They're in the engine room. But on a boat like this, there's limited places to put stuff like that. And if you want AC, you got to put the condensers somewhere. And that just happens to be the place they decided to put them. Luckily, it's high enough where I can get under it if I do need to get in there. So I may be able to leave those alone, but we'll see. Anyway, again, thank you for joining us. And please, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon. So from the crew of Thunder, fair winds and following seas. Bye.